Cut to black. Those three words still send chills down the spines of Sopranos fans everywhere. When the screen went brutally dark on Tony Soprano in that iconic dinner scene, millions were left wondering if the ruthless mob boss had finally met his long-foreshadowed demise. While creator David Chase continues to keep that polarizing ending ambiguous, one thing's for certain. If a bullet did silence Tony forever that night, an explosive power vacuum was inevitable in the underworld he ruled. So let's dive into the chaos that would have erupted and examine all the potential candidates gunning to be the new boss in the aftermath. First off, let's get the obvious eliminations out of the way. Uncle Junior? Forget about it. Dude was deep into dementia by then. Not exactly leadership material. And poor Dante, Tony's loyal consigliere, was barely clinging to life after taking a bullet to the head. His chances were slimmer than Vito Spatafore at a Yankee game. Now, you might be thinking, Paulie Walnuts is next in line. No? Not so fast, my friends. While Paulie was an OG captain and had been with Tony from the start, the guy was riddled with flaws that made him totally unfit to be the big kahuna. Let's break it down. Paulie suffered from some serious mental and emotional issues, hence his nickname, Walnuts. He was prone to childish outbursts, irrational behavior, and couldn't think strategically to save his life. Remember when he completely lost his mind after one night in the Pine Barrens? Not exactly cool under pressure. Then there was his glaring lack of intelligence and perception. Paulie was pretty dim, easy to manipulate, and oblivious to even the most obvious power moves against him. Could you really trust a guy like that to navigate the political minefields and think 5 steps ahead like a boss needs to? But most of all, Paulie was just widely disliked and distrusted within the family ranks. He was notoriously kissing people's butt, bullying, an all-around goon without much respect. Could you imagine volatile hotheads from Tony's own inner circle falling in line under his leadership? That powder keg wouldn't last a week. What about Patsy Parisi then? The quiet soldier who Tony had infamously clipped his own twin brother way back when. While he was certainly a capable enforcer, promoting a total underling with no leadership experience straight to boss would have been unprecedented chaos. Think about it. Patsy spent decades as a low-level guy taking orders from capos like Paulie. To suddenly flip the script and make him the top dog? It just wasn't a viable option based on the strict, long-standing mafia hierarchy. Not to mention, Patsy openly despised and resented Paulie's guts after years of being disrespected and overlooked for promotions. Putting those two in power together would have led to an instant civil war. So, if all the in-house candidates were duds, where does that leave us? The answer, my friends, lies in the hands of the overlords from New York, the all-powerful Lupertazzi family. You see, by this point, the New York mob had grown exceptionally fed up with the constant insubordination and drama coming out of Jersey, courtesy of Tony and his crew's annex. Bosses like Johnny Sack and Butch DiConcini were just itching for an excuse to reorganize things under their control. And Tony's death? Well, that would have been the perfect opportunity for the Lupertazzis to swoop in, dismantle what was left of the Soprano regime, and install a brand new administration. One that would obediently follow New York's orders without question. Under this likely scenario, the smart money says Butch DiConcini places Paulie Walnuts nominally in charge as a token boss or street captain for Jersey. Why Paulie? Because he knew the landscape and players and would make a useful puppet for the New York-based leadership to really pull the strings behind the scenes. But made men like Paulie would just be service-level managers at best. The big decisions, the real power, that would lie with whomever Butch and his capos chose to oversee Jersey and bleed it for whatever profits and obligations they demanded. So in summary, while fan favorites like Paulie, Patsy might have assumed some token titles, the hard truth is the final victory belonged to New York. With Tony out of the picture, the family he'd spent his life building would cease to exist as an autonomous entity. Instead, the Lupertazzis would gut it from the inside out until Jersey was nothing more than an openly subservient crew carrying out the will of their New York overlords. A bleak ending for Jersey's top dog, but that's arguably the most logical succession of power, given what we know.